What up, though? It's the word. You see the title. Let's talk about it. Look, man, I ain't even gonna hold you up. I had a whole show planned, and I couldn't focus on my talking point. I had so much rambling through my mind, and this type of person I'm not about to do something and not give it my all. And I know me, so I decided to cut that and just come on here and talk. Just get this stuff out my head, man, because life is crazy. Like life is crazy, and it gives you so many opportunities to learn lessons. It gives you so many opportunities to define yourself for who you want to be. There's always situations that occur in life, and a lot of them come out of the blue. And when that happens, me personally, I just look at it as an opportunity to define who I am instead of looking at it as a situation or even a problem. That's just my mindset, and that was what my whole show was about. But there's so many other thoughts start running through my head. Like, if we know what a problem is, how come we can't solve it? It seems like we don't even try to solve problems no more. Like, we literally don't try to solve problems no more. Sometimes we talk about them. Most of the time, we just act like they ain't a problem. And it keeps occurring and keeps occurring and keeps occurring. The same thing over and over. Like, I think, like, why us as black men, why do we fight each other? Like, if we can't get along, why don't we just stay away from each other? I don't understand that. Like, we get into it. Back in my day, we fight, and whoever won had to buy the beer. The loser got a free beer. I mean, we had beef with one, and then we wouldn't even, like, if it's two of our boys, we'd let them throw hands, but we wouldn't let them hurt each other. Like, if somebody started getting the best of the other person, these are boys, okay? Let them get some frustration out, sling each other around. But if somebody start getting hurt, nah, chill that out. And that's how I can't. Now they shooting each other for a little disagreement. You get shot. Like, how does that make sense? It's like we against each other, and everything else in life is against them. But now we against each other. It's like biting our own foot off, and it's common sense. Like, we don't talk no more. Communication is lost. I heard, shout out Miss 504. She said that today. She said we so into technology that we forgot how to communicate with one another, and that's true. Somebody step on your shoe, you ain't got to get mad or push them. Give them an opportunity to say, "Excuse me" or "Sorry." Or even if they don't, keep it moving. It's a shoe material. But in large part, we don't even we don't even think for ourselves. I truly believe most people got what they call a herd mentality. They just go with the flow, go with what's popular. But what is popular, is that right? Is what popular, is that right? I ain't gonna say 9 times out of 10, but when you figure it out, it ain't right. Why not just, okay, it's not right, and walk away from it? A lot of times that happens. Sometimes, most of the time, people ego get in the way. It's so many. Our problems and issues are so small, and we make them large. Like self love. Why don't we talk about that? Why don't we teach this? Why don't we preach this to one another? Why don't we assist this with one another? We don't practice that. We look for more reasons to hate ourselves and hate other people than we do to like and love ourselves. I mean, at one point, even I was guilty, right? I looked at all the things that was wrong with me instead of all the things that was right for me. I'm looking for flaws in myself. I used to, and now I don't see any. I don't see no flaws. I just see things that I need to improve on and things I want to improve on. I don't. I don't look at myself like there's anything wrong. It's just improvements that need to be made. That's just a mindset. There's no self hate in me. I'm not putting that in me. I don't like it, and I don't want it. So I choose not to have it. Just like everybody can. You can look at yourself and say, I have this flaw, I have that flaw, and ignore it or look at it as if, okay, I love myself so much, I'm willing to make improvements. This is different in the mindset than looking at yourself and say, okay, I love myself and I'm willing to make improvement versus this is wrong with me and that's wrong with me. They don't teach this. We don't preach it. I mean, it's taboo for a man to tell a woman or compliment a woman sometimes. Well, somebody thinking something outrageous. Maybe I just want to say something to uplift her, not because I want to be in any type of relationship with you. I'm just trying to say some positive words. My wife, every single day, I tell my wife how much I love her, how beautiful she is. When my wife say, "Oh, I need makeup," no, you don't. My wife don't need makeup. She don't. She like it, okay, but she don't need it. Oh, I gained weight. Yeah, I know you did. You having a baby. You all right? We'll get that off when you get done. You're giving life. You deserve to gain weight. This is how I talk to my wife. And when I get tired of her trying to beat herself up, I tell her like, "Hey, bro, you gonna stop talking to my wife like that, or we gonna scrap." I tell my wife that all the time. Every time I will fight my wife for my wife. I'm not about to sit up here and let my wife say nothing negative about herself, not in front of me. She don't. She can't. Every time she try, here I come. And sometimes I know she do it just because she want me to say something nice. That's how women are. She know I'm gonna do it. So that's what sometimes I know, and sometimes I know she really feel that way. But I know a lot of times she knows if she say something, I'm gonna give her some kind of crazy compliment, and I am every time, and I don't get tired of it. That's my partner, so why wouldn't I do that? That's just my personality. But you can't say nothing nice to a woman. You tell a woman she look beautiful. Shit, I got a boyfriend. Some women say thank you, humble women. I'm not even gonna sit up here and say like all women think because you give them a compliment, you're hitting on them. That'd be wrong to me. That'd be wrong to me to put every woman in that category. But there are some women who can't take a compliment. Some of them take it to their head and think you in love with them. Some women, some women think you. No, I'm not even gonna say that because it's like men say some stupid stuff, and that's another thing too, man. If you go compliment a woman, compliment a woman. but don't be disrespectful. You know, you can tell a woman she beautiful without naming none of her body parts. You can do that. I done seen and heard some stuff. Man, this YouTube stuff crazy, man. It's crazy. It's like the street. It's probably a little worse because at least in the street you can hit somebody in the mouth and tell them to shut up. And YouTube, you can't do that. You know, so it's probably worse than the street. I mean, in the street, somebody just popping off at the gun. You pop them in the mouth one time, they'll do one of two things: either they go shut up or they going to kill you. But they ain't talking no more. On here, you can't do that. So this probably worse because they just go keep talking and keep talking. But it's like most like common sense literally ain't common no more. So much stuff that we can avoid, but it seems like we want to run into it. Like we want the drama, we want the beef, and it's like it's already hard enough to not have it in real life. Why want it in virtual reality? And then I thought about it like, well, this is real life now. Like this is life. I can't imagine somebody like me. I can't. My mom. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. When we do something, like my whole family don't even know I'm on YouTube yet, and because when they do, everybody go flop. We support each other. That's what we do. Me, I wanted to build it from the ground up, and then bring them in. You know, maybe that's my ego. That could be my ego, honestly. Now that I thought about it, that can be my ego. I got to think on that. Now maybe I will. I'm gonna bring my whole damn family on here, and we just go rock out. We gonna have a public forum to be us. Cause my family awesome, all of them, the crazy ones, the intellectual ones, the professional ones, the athletic ones, all of them awesome. They all unique, man. Because we love each other, man. We do. We get each other back. And I don't see how that's not normal in the world. Like I think about all the content creators on here, all the black ones. We all come together, but we can't because half of us beefing. Right? I'm not beefing, but half of them beefing, and it could. And the reason I'm not gonna say all of them because some of the stuff I believe that it just went way too far, way too far. You know, when you start talking about people families, the families, I don't care if they dead or alive. You start talking about people families in a negative way, that's crazy karma to me. That's crazy karma. So I choose not to do that, but people do it. When you start doxing people, like if I have a disagreement with somebody, I'm straight. You know, I just have a disagreement. I ain't about to dox them. I ain't about to talk about their loved ones, especially if they not here no more. That's crazy. Like in real life, if you do that, bad things tend to happen. This is real life. Like not only is it real life, it's recorded. It's taped. Like why would you do that? People that ignorant. And you saying it to a mother, man. How can you like me as a father and you saying it to someone who carry life, man? That's crazy. Someone who carried. If you was me as a father, I can never talk about a woman. Not what she gave birth to, especially if it's not here. I couldn't imagine that feeling. I can't imagine talking about people, parents, because I still got both of mine. So I get to hug them and kiss them every day. I couldn't imagine that. My wife lost both of hers. I don't even know what she's feeling with pain. I can't even imagine her pain. So I do whatever I can to just be there and try to relieve some of it. I know I can't relieve all of it, but I try because I still got both of mine. Like, it's something wrong with you inside. So many people, I'm gonna be honest. This is my random thought, and I'm just kicking it. There's a lot of people on here that shouldn't be on here because in real life, I don't even think they'd be able to function in society, and some of them probably not. And that's not a knock against nobody because we all have issues we have to deal with. But this environment is not good for people who have mental health issues. This is not a good environment. It's uncontrolled. And you can snap. I mean, anybody can say anything. People are devious. And honestly, I think a lot of the people who speak certain ways and do certain things, I believe they have mental health issues. And I'm not joking and I'm not throwing no shade. I'm just being honest. I mean, we all suffer, especially, I don't care what you say. If you black, you suffer from some type of PTSD. I'm not gonna say all, but I'm gonna say most, and I think I'm safe. I appreciate you, though, and I think I'm safe for saying most because of trauma that we receive personally and what they call traditional trauma or generational trauma. I apologize, but generational trauma. We all get hit by it. Like our ancestors didn't get psychological help when they got freed from slavery. They didn't have so they some of the things that affected them affected their kids and affected their kids and affected their kids, and we are those kids. We have become the kids. So a lot of the same traditions and things that went on then was passed down along with the trauma, and we didn't heal from that. And some of us not even aware of that. We don't talk about mental health in our community. I myself, I tried. I told people I need help. I was gonna be all right. I'm strong. That's what I heard. So I had to find a way to help myself. That's when I got into spirituality. I literally switched my major in college to theology because the church wasn't helping me. It wasn't enough. Not for what I personally felt I endured mentally. It wasn't enough. So I started looking at all religions and practicing them because I needed something. That's why I got into practicing different religions. And then I got into spirituality. And then I looked at all the religions and I was able to find the spiritual aspects and I combined them. I don't believe in nothing. I know. I know there's a higher power. I don't believe in it. I know. And that's the difference. It was my desire. I needed something. And nothing anybody was giving me was strong enough. So I went and found it myself. That same desire I have to share the information because I know what it feels like to grow up. I mean, honestly, in a single parent home because my mom was there, my stepdad was there, but he wasn't really there. And my mom had to work a lot. And my mom, I mean, amazing woman. What she was able to do and accomplish to me is super. And of course, my son wake up. Then positive people, exactly. Though I mean, exactly. That's what I don't understand. And it's like you got so many people on this YouTube, like Doaz. We go on her chat, and if you go somewhere and if you ain't laughing, enjoying yourself, or thinking, why are you there? If you're not laughing, enjoying yourself, and or thinking, you shouldn't be there. Baby, go lay down with mommy. I'll be right there. Go lay down with mommy. Hmm? Yeah. Okay. Here I come. Go ahead. My son telling me I gotta end the show, but I'll be in there in 1 minute, baby. Give me 1 minute. Okay, let me see if he finished letting me ranting for a minute. But yeah, that's exactly Dawes. I mean, if you think how fast now we can share information and we utilize we I'm sorry, but we actually utilize that technology to go at one another, to insult one another, to do further damage to one another. We use the technology that can be used to literally share information. We can build with one another in a way that we couldn't do when our grandparents. But instead of doing that, we actually use it to attack somebody across the country. That's crazy. Like if you really think about that, like how can you not laugh? And see, that's crazy. That is crazy, and I don't blame you because it's so much going on. And like I said, it's this that the YouTube is literally like the streets. I think it's worse. I think it's worse. I really do because I mean, so many things can happen on here. People can get they get the catfishing. I mean, famous people get catfished, so you don't really know who people are. People come on here and create a character. You know, like when Charleston White literally said, "When the camera's cut on, I'm a con man." He told you what he is, and people still, I don't know. Like it's crazy. Instead of exactly, exactly, and that's why I said like my platform. Like I sit back and I watch it because I have to. Like me personally, I do this. I sit back and I'm real quiet in real life. I'm quiet until I do my final analysis on a person, and then I begin to speak. That's how I am in real life, and I can't. Like my wife will tell you, I can't fake nothing. If you say something to me and I don't believe you, you go no. I don't even have to say it. You will see it on my face. If you say something to me and I know you lying, I might just laugh in your face, and I'm like that in real life. Like I will bust out laughing at you. Like, am I really supposed to? Like, why would you even tell me that? So I can't hide who I am. Yeah, and see, like when I say random thought, this is why I couldn't do the show that I plan to do, because like when I have like my wife look at me like you crazy, but it's so many things that go on in my head and I gotta get them out, because if I don't, it's just gonna add up. So that's why this is gonna be a new segment called Random Thoughts, aka me rambling, because it's stuff that just don't make sense, and I don't see how. Like we don't see these things. Like why don't we talk about mental health? Like we talk about it, but then we go and do stuff to disturb it. We go put more or and then this is the thing about YouTube. When you on here, it's not entertainment. If you in the chats, you're participating. You're actively doing something. So it no longer becomes entertainment. And I had to learn that because I had that problem. I thought I'm watching people. Oh, it's entertainment. I'm laughing. I'm putting No, I begin to participate. I'm putting my energy into it now. You start taking that stuff on, and when I started noticing, I had to pull back from channels. Like I had to pull back. Like no, I can't do that. I'm taking that energy, and that's not me. But that's something I learned, and I had to be humble enough to understand that. Like participate in the things that you would normally do. And that, like, absolutely. Like, going in channels, like Nate the Great, I love Nate. We go in there, he play music, we laugh, we have fun. And if he ain't playing music, he making you think. Same thing with Doe Eyes. I go in there, we have fun, we play games, or she kicking knowledge. She bringing us up on the panels to have discussion, or she bringing Papa Duck over, and Papa Duck just dropped gems. You know, it's places on here where you can enjoy yourself. You know, and shout out to Miss 504 because she teach from a different angle. You know, she got a lot of life experience. She been through a lot, but she teaching on with a different angle. And you know, we all do our thing our different way, but ultimately, if you're not giving something, you taking. And what are they taking from? Like I can't go in the chat and somebody just cussing me out all day or cussing people out all day. I can't do it. Just speaking negative. You're putting too much negativity into the world. You're putting too much in there. We gotta know, especially our people. Oh yeah, she love you though. You said you haven't heard of them. You feel free to come up here and ramble with me. It's really a shame because there's some really bright people on here trying to do positive things, bringing us positive content, giving us access to people who we normally. I never thought I'd be able to ask Judge Joe Brown a question. Like, why don't we take that opportunity to do things like that? Instead of that, we rather just listen to people bash each other all day, expose each other. Like, that's crazy. Like, you have an opportunity to ask Judge Joe Brown something. And like honest, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't know who Papa Duck was until I watched one of your first uh one of your first shows with him. I didn't know who he was. But once I talked to that brother or heard that brother speak, I was amazed. Oh yeah, you ain't gotta be at home.
How
And
are
how are
you?
you? I am doing wonderful. How are you? I appreciate you coming up
Well,
here to talk.
it's a, it's a really
Like what? I don't even know what options we have no more.
big delay. Can you hear it?
I'm
Do you
sorry.
hear the delay?
Yeah, hold on. Let me turn this off. Maybe this background music off. Okay. Can you hear me now? I think I
I
might
can hear
have
you
a
fine. It's
delay.
just a delay.
Okay. Yeah, like what
I can hear you fine. It's just a delay or echo.
so what do you think it is? Like what is it that like like your channel like you like I never thought I honestly I never thought I'd be able to ask Joe Brown a question. Like why aren't we taking advantage of that?
Because number one, I'm small. Number two, people. Well, I can't speak for everyone, but I think a lot of people may be surprised I was able to do that.
But see, even after seeing you do that, it's like, okay, she did it more than once. She has,
Three
why don't we
times.
support? We need to support her, make her get bigger.
Oh,
She's
people saw it, but there were very little likes to match the people that saw it. But they'll support, they'll support and donate to other things. But I'm not worried so much about donations because, like I said, the sponsorships are outside of YouTube.
right. Let's see what I seen. Like what you doing. If I had the resources, I would put whatever. I would put everything behind it because just that, the access to the people that you've given us. Like Papa Duck. Like I didn't know who he was, but once I heard the brother speak, I'm like, this brother is speaking on a level that, like, I focus on one thing. His parameter is like for the people. Like the information he intake is for the people, and he's giving it back to us. And I'm looking at his page,
Absolutely.
like he should have well over 1 million. It just seemed like
They're
we
trying
want to
to
be
censor.
entertained,
They're trying to censor him.
and it's for a reason. Because
Absolutely.
the stuff he was saying, it's like I knew a lot of the stuff, like when it came to like religion and metaphysics. But like he was telling us about the brain download, and then the next day I seen
Absolutely.
another content creator saying Elon Musk did it, and I'm like, hold on, man, he just told us that. Like,
But see, this is what I'm saying. The word people know what I'm doing. I've had people, I've had people that they don't think I know. I will speak on something and then they'll turn around and do the same thing, but make it seem like they just came up with it. I don't even say anything.
and see, I don't understand. I was just talking to my cousin about that yesterday. He got a he worked for a buddy of his in the trucking business, and he good at it, and he just wanted information, and his buddy wouldn't give it to him. He said, "No, you go be my competition." Like, why do we? I don't understand why we can't work together. Like, why is it so hard? Is enough space, enough room for all of us to grow?
Oh, absolutely. And it's not about competition. I had an issue early on this year, and I had to change the way I move, and I still have to watch the way I move, but I wasn't as vocal as I had wanted to be. But that did not mean I didn't have content, but I just had to wait.
And see, like even that, like for you to have to go through that.
No, I didn't, but if somebody is harassing you and threatening you, you do have to switch up.
Oh, okay. See, yeah. See, I'm still a little new to like. I don't know what happened at the beginning of the year. I really came on here probably about like I've been on YouTube, but I never even really did the comments. I used to just put it on and listen to it, and
Oh, we'll be
especially
talking about it tomorrow night or
okay,
tonight,
cool.
rather.
Because it's like up until probably like August, I just listened to YouTube. I never really got in the comments, and it was mainly sports fighting. Like I'm a big component of UFC. I like mixed martial arts. I practiced it, so I was mainly like in the boxing section, and I came over here because uh, of Kwame. I was listening to a couple of things he said. There was a couple of people on the panel, and I'm like, oh, you can. I thought like all these was shows, like like I didn't know random people can come up, and I'm like, oh, okay. Like I literally had my head like this whole thing only happened. Like my interest in YouTube in general only happened because of my accident. Other than that, I didn't even watch TV. I was working. I was doing real estate and life insurance, and I was just working. And when I got the injury, it wasn't nothing I can do but really listen. I couldn't see that well, and it's like I'm not about to watch a movie. I just go on YouTube and I start listening. And then I heard Kwame talking one day, and I'm like, oh, this dude played basketball. Oh, and then I'm like, okay, it started going another direction, and I'm like, okay, nah, I thought you was talking. And then I end up finding other people, and I remember because I listened to Sinetta a lot too. I used to watch all his old videos, and then that's how I was familiar with Miss 504. So, but before that, I seen the whole damn D and Sister T thing, and that's why I said I thought it was like entertainment at first, and then I'm like, no, this is like people really going at it. So, the more I watch people, like I hear stories like Kwame and Skinny, like I didn't even know they knew each other. Like the way from what I seen, I'm looking like, oh, they was cool at one point. Like that's crazy. Like to think these people was friends at one point and all this stuff going on. I'm looking like, nah, this is crazy. So it's like I still don't know fully know what happened with that, and it's like, man, this is crazy. like I just want to come on here, link up with some good people, and share information. But it's like the street.
Well, that's why you have to be careful because if you don't, you can get sucked in. But I do support many different people. But when it gets too much out of hand, then I'll leave out. I try to support one or two a week. I'll throw a little bit at someone, or I may even do a membership because that is what true support is about.
Right.
And
And
then participating.
exactly.
So I'm like, if you can't do that, then I don't really need you in my chat. And then I had one lady, I think she may be a little bit upset with me because I took her wrench a while ago. And that was simply because she kept listening to craziness. And I believe in the transference of energy.
Yes.
I don't want that around me. So she got to the point where she would come in and say, "Hello, chat." And I'm like, "No, you don't do that. You don't do that if you visit someone's home."
Exactly. And that
So
that
now,
just
so
I'm
now you're
sorry.
blocked. So you won't come back. Don't disrespect me as a woman. Now, I'm not going to go and argue backwards and forth with a woman. I've always said that. And I've had my backwards and forth with men, but I've let that go as well. But for a grown woman to do that, no, you just burnt a bridge.
And see, that's crazy. And I guess that's a blessing to me. Why I mean, my channel's so small. But that's something I'm gonna have to deal with later. So
It
this
doesn't matter if it's small or not. I mean, I'm small. I get very few, but a lot of people don't know the guests that I've actually had because if they did, and the ones that,
and see
like I
they
said, there's some that actually know, but they will never ever tell you.
and see that's crazy because, like I said, the guests that I've seen so far, like it, like you watch Judge Joe Brown on TV, and just now that I'm older, knowing who he is and what he accomplished, is like you can say you small or whatever, but to me that's a great feat.
Oh,
And then
I'm
see the
absolutely
relationship
proud of
and
myself.
the relationship between y'all, you can see it. The
And
sincerity.
that's the thing. And that is what makes me laugh because the people, right, the people that pretend they haven't seen it, I'm like, yeah, okay.
And see, that's like when football season over, I'm gonna bring my cousin Jordan Whitehead. He the year Tom Brady won the Super Bowl in Tampa,
Hmm.
he was on that team. He was a starting safety. So he won a ring. But you want to hear something else crazy? You watch football? Ty Law?
Yes.
That's my that's my mother's second cousin.
Oh,
You know
okay.
Darrell Reeves,
I've known quite, that's just it. I
Reeves
know
Island.
quite a
That's my
few.
aunt. That's my
Oh, wow.
aunt's. Yeah, that's my aunt's godson. That's why it's Jordan's cousin. But like I come. That's where I'm from. I'm from Aliquippa, that small town that produced. So Tom Brady won rings with three people from that area. That's crazy,
Wow.
man. And eventually, I'm gonna bring them all up here. I'm gonna bring them all. Like I can use the resources I have to build my channel, but I'm not. I want to build it by myself. I want to build it with my information. The way I want. I can do it that way. I know I can, but I have other resources.
Oh, of course. You just You mix, you just mix it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, I don't want to bring them on here before I got a big follow. You know, I ain't gonna say a following, but I want to grow it a little more before I ask them to come on the platform. I got like my uncle. He used to run Southern Cal Law Department. Like when I say Southern Cal, I'm talking about UCLA, like the whole law department over there. His wife just retired. She was executive at Apple. My sister's a psychologist, well, educational psychologist, but like I got resources, I got content easy. I can easily make it with just the people around me. But I'm looking at your page, like, and I'm looking like what you're bringing. Like, do people really want this, or do they they want the drama? They want the
The
beef, and do
drama, they drama, or they claim, like I hear some women, not all, oh, we support such and such, we support such and such, but they don't do that for me.
Well, I'm gonna push you every chance I get. I'm pushing because I not like I said, that's one of the places I can go, and I know I'm gonna either laugh or think, and those are the two most important things to me. Like if I'm not enjoying myself, at least make me think, and I'm gonna still enjoy myself because now I'm growing, I'm learning. So if you that my entertainment is laughter, I don't see how people get entertained by negative stuff.
Oh, plenty people do. I mean, I enjoy laughter, but I also enjoy knowledge.
Yeah, and that's why I enjoy your page so much. Is because you come over there and we even having fun with each other. Playing games or going over the football, teasing each other, or we learning. We getting information, and the sources that we getting information from. Some of them I can't in my everyday life. There's no way I can talk to Judge Joe. I can't. I'm literally like I'm a fan. I don't know if you can tell. I'm actually a fan of Judge.
A lot of people are, and
I'm
I
a fan.
think
I
that
ain't gonna lie.
helps some people. And as I said with Papa Duck yesterday, you you can't fake energy.
No, you can't.
And that interview, honestly, was not supposed to go that long. We were supposed to talk a little bit about the smart world, and then the rest was a gift from me to those that were there to be able to connect with him virtually and ask him questions.
And even being able to do that, like he a busy man. I mean,
He was in the studio.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. So that's not something that we can just do, and you giving us access to it.
So what
And
does that tell you? And then he just emailed me tonight.
see that's what I'm saying. You can. I know the energy that I feel from you is all positive, and I know Papa Duck, the type of person. Well, I don't know him, but I can feel him. I can feel his energy too. So I know the connection. But to see like the to you is a difference because you see it. Like with Judge Joe, you see it. Like he,
Now
like the
you know he's
connection
no
between.
nonsense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's different because Papa Duck more of that spiritual person. Judge Joe is like the no nonsense, but it's the same vibration you're getting from both of these men. You see
And
what
you
I'm
saw
saying?
them laughing. They had me laughing. You don't get that with everybody.
No, you don't. And now that I think about it, to be honest with you, though, I think you intimidate people. That high
I'm not
vibration
a mean
frequency.
person, but I tell you what, and I'm gonna say this. I don't think so because I mean I'm not a.
No, watch this though. when a person is vibrating on a high frequency, people on lower frequency, it repels them. Now, I'm not saying like you go out there, like you're literally intimidated. I'm saying that you so positive. Like a person vibrating on a lower level, it'll literally sometimes make them sick. People tell me about that with me.
Well, you know what? That's funny that you said that because that's funny because now that you mentioned that, somebody did come into my chat when I was talking about sports, and I said, "Why don't you come back when the honorable judge is on?" And this gentleman, and I'm not going to repeat his name, said, "Well, no, I see you got connects, but that's a little bit too positive." And I'm like, "What?
And see, I'm telling you, your positive
How
energy,
is that too positive? That's
because
crazy to even say."
you take two magnets and you take north and south pole, one of them go push away from the other one, and that's what happens with negative. Some people are so negative they can't be around positive people, and they can't. I've heard people say, "Oh, told other content creators, your content is too positive." Like, how's something too positive? How's something like so to even embody that ideal? That tells me you're a negative person.
Well, that's unfortunate because that man is a wealth of knowledge. And not only that, that's why I said behavior is extremely important
Yeah,
because certain people will vet you first. There is no way a man that is running for the mayor of Memphis that's been on television will come on your platform not once, but three times, and then you're sponsoring his barbecue sauce if he hasn't had somebody to check you out.
exactly. Exactly. And trust you enough because like you said, it's something that he don't have control over. He
No, and
trusts your
like I
platform
said,
enough.
you can see and feel the energy. So no, I'm not going to jeopardize that. Yeah, I don't have to.
And see that can't be nothing but appreciated because like me personally, is
And see,
like I carry myself the way I do because like my mother always told me I represent my family. So I had to carry myself a certain way. And I've always been like that. And not only do I represent my family now, I got a child. So anything I do, my child is gonna look at one day. Everything I say on this internet, he gonna see this one day. So why would I do something
absolutely.
that I wouldn't be proud? Like I wouldn't. I don't live my life like that. Like I don't do stuff and
I mean, I'm
worry.
not perfect. I'm
No,
not perfect at all.
we know. I mean, we all not. It's just like my life experiences. Like like my grandmother told me, never live with regrets. And when I asked her, how do I do that? She told me, if you got to think about it too long, don't do it.
And I agree with that wholeheartedly. But no, tonight I'm going to be having a live with the therapist I spoke to you about, and it's entitled When Things Go Off of YouTube. And it's going to go into harassing and cyberbullying and all of that. So that's going to be another warning to anyone that wants to try to play games. But I think I have it pretty much under control now. But you play around one more time, you should know by now. I have direct access to somebody who, well, I'm not going to say anything. Just play around and see what happens to you.
Yeah, we definitely gonna have to talk because now, like yeah, we gonna talk. But that's tonight. What time is that tonight? Because we gonna promote
Um,
that too. Because
10:30.
10:30.
10:30. No, I mean, but that happens to so many people.
Yeah, that's why I said we need to make it a. We need to bring awareness to it, and not only awareness. We need. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's information in there where it's gonna teach us how to handle it. And like me, I don't like. I'm gonna be honest. Just I got resources. So if something like that was to happen, I wouldn't too much worry about it because there's people watching that they care
Oh,
about me.
my page has been monitored since this stuff happened.
And see, I don't understand. Like, why is it? It's easier, and for me, it's easier to get along with people than to have conflict with them. Before I do that, I'd rather just not. I stay on my side, you stay on your side. It's like I think people get so much pain inside them, and they don't know
And
how
that's
to.
what it is. And that's what it is. So that's why I forgave that person and the others. But
You still here with me?
yeah, I'm here. I'm just saying I forgave that person and the others that did some of the things that they did. But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
here.
But you ain't gonna keep. You ain't gonna. It ain't gonna happen again. Yeah. And see, like I had to learn, like all the pain is, I had to learn how to release it without hurting other people. And people don't even realize, like you're hurting people because you're hurt. And then
Absolutely. Absolutely. But see, when you do that, you can put your own livelihood in danger because, as I said, I have forgiven. I did what I needed to do. But now, if you get a knock on the door, that's
that
on you.
and
Because
see,
people think just because months and months or maybe years go by and you don't hear anything, you think it's dead and it's over with. No, people, it things take time, and I've said this before.
and see that's people's karma. You can't do something and not expect something to happen to you, especially if in negative. Something negative is karma. Like whatever energy we put out, eventually you got to come back to it. And that's why, like me personally, I understand when I was younger, I wasn't the best person. So what I'm going through now, that's another reason I understand. Or I'm gonna say I'm content, or I'm okay with what happened, and I can move forward because I understand it was my own karma. I put the energy out there, and it came back to me, and I'm grateful it hit me because it could hit somebody else.
And
You know,
that is what a lot of people don't understand. So again, um, I am free from that.
it's and it feels like when you out of that, that's and then but now like with me, what I'm still learning, and like I can't, like even like on this YouTube stuff, like the way, like the energy I put into it, I can't go certain places, and they, like you said, if it's all negative, that's no longer entertainment. So I can't go into an atmosphere that's negative. If it's all that drama, I personally don't have that in my real life. Like my wife and me, we are wonderful. My family, I'm in good spirits with everybody in real life. So I'm not gonna come on the internet. And that's what I said. I think it's some people who shouldn't be on here. And that's no knock against nobody. But you can tell by their actions, like something they're struggling with something. You can, like you said, actions and behavior speaks volumes. And when you come on here and I don't, when you, that's not, some of that is not, that's not a character. That's you,
Absolutely not. If it's every single day, have
day.
to mix it up a little bit, put a little bit of variety in it.
But see, that's the way I think people get some of that anger out of them now. Is come on here and just let loose. But that's still not healthy. You're still it might is making it worse because you can see the progression. Things are becoming are intensifying. The longer
Well,
it goes on.
I blame a lot of that on the supporters for not saying
Exactly.
anything.
But see that's what I'm saying. Like the supporters, like so, like we in Michigan, it's a group called the Detroit 300, and I used to go meet up with them, and we had discussions about how to get the drugs out the neighborhood. And a lot of the debate was who is really causing it, the dealers who dealing it to the people, or the people who buying it. Like, how do we stop it? If we, as long as people buying it, it's always gonna be a dealer.
Absolutely.
You know, so and like that's why I said this YouTube is like that. So long as people want to see the drama and people act crazy, is always gonna be somebody willing to do it. So the minds, like you said, the subscribers, like that's who I look at. Like even this conversation, man, you having it's 1 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock, but I guarantee you, it's somebody else on here going live, going crazy, and there's a bunch of people in the chat.
Oh, absolutely. Because that's just how it is. I'm sitting here doing paperwork before I get in. I just pulled over because I saw you pop up. I'm like, let me see what he's talking about tonight. But that's just, again, people.
And like when I was talking to the brothers on your show, I'm content with getting a couple people. I don't. We can't save everybody. I see that now. I see that you cannot save everybody. I don't even want them. I don't even want. You know, it's no purpose because the same thing that happened to Fred Hampton that happened. I believe that same thing. It'll just be more people willing to do it now. You know, back then they had to find somebody who prevented change, who was willing to go against that will of change. Now I think a lot of people doing it because we see it on YouTube now. You know, instead of creating atmospheres where people can grow and come together and build, you create an environment where people can just beef and argue. And if people ain't strong enough mentally, guess what? They gonna go to it, and you know that these people know that. Like I'm not trying to be funny. And if people can't see it, I no longer feel bad because these people are using rudimentary psychology on these people. Like I come in your chat room and you speaking positive stuff, even though you might mention, you know, some of the hurdles and hoops you went through in life, but you're not trying to
Hmm.
make us feel bad for you. You giving us and you're inspiring us. Like, look, I went through this and I did this and this happened. That's inspiration.
Absolutely.
You're not
It
trying to make
should
us
be.
feel like this is common sense. And I try to explain this to people. If you go somewhere and people are, I'm, I'm trying to be politically correct, but if people are preying on your lower emotions, if people are drawing on your lower emotions, they're doing that for a reason. If people trying to make you feel bad for them, if they playing a victim all the time, they're doing that for a reason, and you can't see it. Everybody goes through something in life. I I'm like even what I'm going through. I never tell people I'm a victim. I can't see. I mean, I literally, you know, I can't see. I got one eye, and there's only half of that because I have no peripheral. I don't feel bad for myself. I find ways to get things done. I don't play the victim. I don't want nobody's sympathy. I don't want you feeling bad for me. That's not gonna help me. What's gonna help me if we build together? That's what's gonna help me.
Well,
But you
you
get
seem to be typing pretty well from what I can see.
oh, that's because I learned I had a black mode on my phone. Like on my
Oh,
phone, I can
okay.
turn it to the
Well, no,
black
as I
mode.
said before, and I've been very transparent, where you are deficient in one area, you are compensated in other areas.
Exactly, exactly. And a lot of it is my will.
Oh my
You know,
goodness, yes.
it's
I
just
could
my
have laid
will.
around and gave up, but I didn't because that's what the enemy wants you to do.
Exactly. And look how you bounce back.
Well, I'm not out the woods. Don't get me
No.
wrong, but my mindset is in a different place. Just like Papa Duck said, it was like that's the spirit that is really important, and it's true.
And see, but that's what I'm saying. That's inspiration.
And he saw that.
You don't tell your story. I'm telling you, you do not tell your story for sympathy. You tell it to inspire. It's That's powerful. That's uplifting. You're not trying to turn your story and draw on lower vibration. You don't
Oh,
try to make people
absolutely
feel
not.
bad.
I'm trying
That's
to
what
let
I'm.
people know who are going through struggles. Yeah, don't listen to um bad news. No, you got to turn lemons into lemonade and fight that.
And that's what. And so you can see the intent. Your intent is pure because you're trying to uplift people. You're not trying to make people. When people try to make you feel bad, it's for a reason.
Well,
Uh,
nobody has made me feel bad lately. I mean, and if
oh
they
no,
try,
not you. I'm
it's
talking about in general. When they go in these chat rooms, that's what I'm saying. When they go in these chat rooms, like these people with all this negative energy, they pulling on their lower energy. That's what
uh,
I'm saying. Like they drawing on their lower. They making people feel sympathy, and then once they get them attached emotionally, then they get them to attack other people. That's
oh,
how
I
it's a
see
play.
somebody doing
It's a
that
play.
now, and I'm like,
Yeah, and see,
I
that's what I'm
see
saying.
what you're doing, but again, I see a lot of things, but I don't say anything.
And it's sad because it's like I want to help people, and when I see it, it's like I can't do nothing but watch. I can't do
Mm-mm.
nothing. That's all I can do. I can't get involved in it because me trying to like if I even go in there in rooms and say stuff, that's another person attacking. That's literally that's a form of Stockholm syndrome. Like
Hmm.
when you study that, like in psychology, it's different forms of Stockholm syndrome. It's levels of it, should I say? I'm not gonna say forms, but it's levels of it. And one of the levels is to make the victimized or the person victimized and make that person a victim.
Absolutely, and usually the one that is speaking on the other, they're the perpetrators of that same behavior.
Exactly. And see, and then when I sit back and watch, I'm like, how don't people don't see this? Like, how don't
Because
you?
some people know how to tug on heartstrings.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess because I studied it, I can actually see it when it's being done, and the most common folk don't see it. But that's sad that you even do that. It's sad that somebody would do that to another person, try to manipulate them. Like, why would you want in a bad way? Like, if the only way I would ever try to manipulate somebody if I'm trying to make them laugh. I want you to have joy. So me telling a joke, that's manipulate. I'm not trying to make nobody feel bad about nothing. I don't get nothing out of that. I don't get no joy out of making people feel bad. But it's people out there, and that's what I say. If you see somebody just constantly trying to hurt somebody, they're hurting inside. This person do not need a platform. That's dangerous.
It absolutely is. They're seeking validations.
Yes, like words are spells, and I look and I don't know. Like I don't. I just stay away from it now. That's all. I mean, I just stay away from it, and I hope, um, and I just stay focused on what I'm doing and try to get people the information that I have. Find new ways to share it. And that's the thing is like I'm trying to get creatives with sharing my ideas instead of just coming on here talking. You know, because I don't have, but I appreciate you because with your membership, like D Rail, that's his name. I seen him on another platform, but like talking to brothers like
Yeah,
that
that's
is
who I'm
like,
going to have the live with tonight.
yeah, see, like having a conversation with that brother is like so amazing. That's what I'm saying. Like what you're doing, your actions. Like I don't see how. I wish I had an army to put behind you because the way you moving and the way you doing stuff is not only positive, but you're doing it and giving people access to it. A lot of people don't do that.
Absolutely. Why would you hide information?
A lot of people do it for money. That's what a lot of people do it for. A lot of people do it for money. People literally hide information for money. Information is power, and our ancestors shared information. You know,
Right.
it,
And then you have some phony folks that jump up on here and talk about ancestors, but they don't even support their own people here on YouTube.
and that's what I'm saying. Like I, I had one guy. Okay, okay, baby, give me a minute. Okay, my son came back out here. I
Okay,
was having
everybody's got a
a
little bit of battery, so hopefully I'll still be here.
okay, give me 1 second, baby. Let me finish this and I'll take you, okay? No, don't touch the mic. Don't touch the mic. But I was talking to one guy and we were sharing information and I'm like and after the conversation it made me it opened my eyes because I'm like, okay. Yeah, you got yours up there. I get it tomorrow. But after the conversation, it just made me I take my water in there. It made me wonder, like, if we got the same information, why aren't we? I'm trying to think. I'm being politically correct. We got the same information, but we're not using it the same way, and that just made me think. Like, and I had to remember, like, well, I practice the things that I say. People just get information to have it, but I actually practice. Like when I was talking about the 42 ideas of my eye, I practiced those. And that's something I actually practiced, and I did that to become a better person. So, like, it's just the way I think. If someone has the same access and the same information I got, and they're not using it, what is it for?
To
Like,
make themselves sound knowledgeable or conscious.
but your actions always go show. Always.
Absolutely.
You can't hide.
Absolutely. And I'm not going to mention any names, but the other night you mentioned to somebody about going in on you for no reason and you asked for an apology. You
Hmm.
need to watch out for that individual.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I realized that. Yeah, I
I
was
mean, it's
looking.
so much. It is so much. Like I said, I literally have a invisible grenade in my hand, and I'm just waiting for the minute to flick
It's,
that pin because I'm gonna blow a lot of people's little world up.
and see, and that's okay. So yeah, I know exactly because so you seen what happened.
I
It just
saw exactly, and that's why I'm saying I am the key. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not trying to interrupt you, but I
Oh
am
no.
the key to a lot of this S that's going on and a lot of dirty shit that is going on and the lies that has been told.
Okay, yeah, because I felt something. I felt it. Like that's why I pulled back, and I'm like, okay, I don't need no apology, and I just need to
Because it's
leave.
not going to be sincere. It's not going to be sincere. That
And
individual was sitting over in um, that person was in that other person's home chasing.
and see, that's why I figured like I'ma just I just let that go because that whole situation it made me feel a way. It made me feel some type of way, and it shouldn't have. And I knew when I got that feeling, I knew to let it go because if I didn't, okay, take it in the room, baby. Because I know if I didn't, it just wouldn't have been nothing good. Just the way I was feeling about it. Like if I continued to pursue this, not only that person, but the things around me, I didn't like the way that felt. Like
Hmm.
like I
That
should,
energy. That
yeah.
energy. And a lot of people, yeah.
And I realized I shouldn't have been in that environment. That's like I shouldn't have been in that environment. So I just let that go. I just let it go because it wasn't nothing good gonna come out of it. So what's the purpose?
Nope. But I mean, like I said, that was just somebody chasing, trying to get um popping again. That's all that was about.
And see that's the crazy thing because it's so much stuff happened that I don't even know about. I'm just coming to light, and now I'm seeing how you know just going like I need to understand like I'm learning to I'm like just go I'm gonna just go off my energy. That's what I'm gonna do because it's like going in certain places. You almost I'm not gonna say guilty by association, but things that happen just you shouldn't just go places that you're unfamiliar with. That's what I guess that's the best way I can put it. So I'm gonna just stick to going to the places that make me feel good. I love your channel. I feel like I said, we go in there, we talk, we get informed. Either I'm smiling, laughing, or I'm learning. Like Nate the Great podcast. He either playing
I've
music.
got to check him out.
Oh yeah, Nate. I'm telling you, either usually he played music all the time. Nate is a real cool, laid back dude. Or if he ain't playing music, he just telling you some real stuff. Like he was talking about um, schools not having truancy offers no more, like getting these kids back in the school, making sure they ain't on the street. He talk about just real everyday life stuff, and he don't candy coat it like me. He just tell you what it is. Like parents, look, if we don't discipline our kids, they will. So let's discipline them before they get out of control. He
And
was
that's
saying
absolutely true.
somebody came in his chat and said, I'm about to call the police on you. He said, why? Because I said, you shouldn't be afraid to discipline your kids.
Wow.
No, you can't touch the buttons. He want to play with my soundboard. Okay, we about to go. Well, let me wrap this up, though. I'm definitely going to be over there tomorrow at 10:30. Okay, you can't push
Yes.
that, baby. You can't have this. Let me put him back to bed. Okay, yeah.
All right. Have a
It's
good
okay.
night.
You too. Thanks
All
for
right. Bye
coming up.
bye.
I appreciate you. You're welcome up here anytime.
Okay. Bye bye.
I, all right, folks, that is the show. My son offline. That was Doe Eyes TV. If you get a chance, go check her out. We always over there. Either we talking football, we playing trivia, laughing, enjoying ourselves, or we getting information. If you see this video, do me a favor, like, subscribe. Okay, baby, I get that. You want the headset? I know. Give me a like and a subscribe. Okay, baby, don't play with. You want to push the button? Push that one. You can't even hear it, huh? Okay, my son is now in control of the show. Go ahead. What you want to push? You like that one? If you see this on the playback, do me a favor. Hit the like. Hit the subscribe. I'm over here to build. That's all I got for you. It's the word, man. Conversations build nation.